Oh, hi! What the heck are you doing here? Oh, I can't hit him. I thought I was going to hit him with a hammer. Yes, I can! This is Arc Raiders. This game has been my personal obsession for the past few weeks. This is my first real video that I've made about it, though, partly just because making videos about this game makes me a little bit nervous, because each run is so unpredictable. Like, I can't be sure that stuff is going to happen that's going to make you understand why I love this game. So, but the unpredictability is part of the experience, so maybe that's fine. I don't know, but we're gonna go and do a run to try to fight my first Bombardier. Let me give you a little bit of background first. So this is Arc Raiders. It's an extraction shooter. This is my character. And there are so many parallel goals going on at any given time in this game. There's a live event going on right now, which I have maxed out. There are these things called feats, which are kind of like bounties in State of Decay 2. And new ones pop up every day. But I've also already maxed out everything you can buy with the currency you get from feats. So I'm not doing that right now. There are a lot of quests which send you out to particular maps to do particular things. And those are kind of fun, but they usually involve a lot of hunting around and exploring and searching, which isn't the most exciting thing to watch, so I'm going to kind of ignore those for now. So I think what I'm probably going to focus on is leveling up my last workshop. I've got level 3 workshops across the board. This one doesn't level up. But my refiner, there's still a few things I can't do with it. And so to level up my refiner, I need to get 6 Bombardier cells. And the only way to get Bombardier cells, I think there's a couple of little extra ways that are very uncommon, but the only reliable way to get a Bombardier cell is to kill a Bombardier. I've never killed a Bombardier before. They're kind of the one normal enemy that I haven't really fought yet. So this is going to be a new experience for me. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but when it's done, I'll be able to craft more stuff. Now, I've got this I've got a lot of stuff that I can already craft. Some of these were unlocked by me building and upgrading my workbenches. Some of these were unlocked by me finding blueprints out in the field. Most of these guns were unlocked by me finding blueprints out in the field. And there's so much more that I'm missing. Like, there's so many blueprints that I don't have yet. So I've still got a lot of progress to make in this game, even though I've maxed so many parts of the game out. So that's going to be our focus for today. We're going to go to a place where usually you can find a Bombardier. I'm going to have trouble saying the word Bombardier. That's a hard word to pronounce if you're an English speaker. It's a French word originally, and they probably have an easier time of it. So there are 5 maps that you can go to. Did I mention that this is an extraction shooter, and what we're doing is going to one of these maps, trying to collect as much stuff as we can, but the stuff in our inventory is at stake. If we die out there, we lose everything we've got, and we've got to kind of, rebuild that stuff from scratch. That's the kind of game this is. So there's 5 maps, 6 if you count the practice range. Dam Battlegrounds is the first one that unlocks. It's got kind of the lowest difficulty, but all that means is that it doesn't spawn any of the bigger guys most of the time. The moment-to-moment combat, though, is pretty much the same level of difficulty everywhere you go, which is the robots are going to kill you. So Buried City is actually aesthetically my favorite one. It's a city that's buried under dunes of sand, and that's probably where we're going to go. Spaceport it's got very tall buildings in the middle and then wide open spaces, some big sort of courtyards separated by walls, so you can get into some pretty big fights with monsters over there, which can be pretty fun. And I have not yet even tried the Blue Gate or Stella Montis. I'm obsessed with this game. I've been playing it relentlessly for weeks. I still haven't even scratched the surface of what I could be doing. But we're going to Buried City because that's the one place where I'm relatively sure I can find a Bombardier. So we're going to confirm that that's our destination. And we're going to look at our inventory. So I don't know why I have shotgun ammo. Oh, I do. Oh, because that's right. So there's a feat going on right now where if you kill other players with shotguns, you get points. Now, I have no intention of killing other players. One of the things that is most fascinating about this game, which we'll talk about a little bit more later, is the fact that it is the most friendly extraction shooter I have ever played. People are genuinely nice to each other 90% of the time when you're playing as a solo. But just in case somebody's a jerk, I have decided to bring a shotgun, so I'll get extra points for killing them if I need to. Usually they kill me, actually. I'll just have to admit that right up front. I have won a couple of fights in PvP, but mostly what happens is I'm skipping along innocently and naively, and I get shot in the back of the head. But then I've also brought with me a bunch of heals. I've brought some explosives that I can throw at this thing. It's kind of big, but it's not very well armored, so I'm hoping that the explosives can make a difference. I'm probably just going to be plinking at it for a really long time, though. So yeah, we're gonna, but actually, you know what? Because I'm not sure, I'm gonna put at risk one of the most valuable items in the game, the Wolf Pack. The Wolf Pack is a absolutely deadly cluster munition. And it's basically like, it's a kill button for most enemies in the game, though this particular enemy could probably take one without going down. I like to have it in my back pocket, though, but I'm putting it in my safe pocket. This is the pocket where if you stick something in there and you die, you get to keep it. Because these things, all of these things I've scavenged out in the world. I can't manufacture them. There is a way to manufacture them if you find the blueprint, but it's a rare blueprint, and I haven't found it yet. So it's even just putting it in my safe pocket makes me nervous. So yeah, so I've got the Pharaoh. This is one of the most damaging rifles in the game, but it fires very slowly. You have to reload between shots. That's the main thing I'll be using against the robots. And this, if a human attacks me, I'll try to get this out, but I'll probably be dead before I get the chance. And I think that's everything. I'm rocking a combat augment here. You always bring an augment in, which determines how much storage space you have and also any special powers. This one actually will heal me passively, after I take damage, very, very slowly, but it's better than, needing to waste too many bandages. And I think I'm done stalling. Let's get in there. And now we matchmake. So they're going to matchmake me with, I don't know, dozen or two other players. I'm actually not sure how many players are on a map, but a bunch of players and I are going to all land in Buried City, hopefully at the same time, though sometimes they'll kind of trickle in over time. So I might arrive with 30 minutes or with 20 minutes or with like 18 minutes. I don't think they make you do it with 15 minutes left. We're going to want to have time though. Getting a lot of texts from the school district. Though I gotta say, you're seeing that I am a dad with a lot of distractions, and yet I am still able to enjoy this game. This isn't the sweatiest game in the world where you have to do nothing but play the game to be any good at it. Okay, so I've spawned inside the library, which is really good placement for what I want to do.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but don't forget to mark out those houses Shani picked if you're in the area.
Okay, they're reminding me of one of my missions that I actually have already completed in this area, so that's no good. So the direction I'm headed, I want to be over here. This is usually where the Bombardier hangs out, if there's a Bombardier on the map. If there's not a Bombardier on the map, we'll find something else to do. So what I'm looking for is Ark. Ark are robots. They control the surface of the world, and humans live underground. And there's a reason we live underground, because if Ark sees us, Ark murders us. Oh, look. One of these guys. Haha. That guy is my backup plan if we don't find the Bombardier. But... Oh, look at that. See those two little spotters over there? That means there's a Bombardier on this map. Oh, we've also got just lots and lots of Ark. Playing this game feels like living inside the future world of the Terminator. Like, there are robots in the sky everywhere you look, and they're hunting you, and you are just desperate to survive. That right there?
Bombardier, down there.
That's our Bombardier. So, the Bombardier is an indirect fire artillery robot. That's a turret. Yeah, the Bombardier is an indirect fire artillery robot, which means You don't want to fight it unless you've got a roof over your head. These plants help you make good bandages, but I don't need them right now. So what I'm trying to do is get to a good vantage point. Oh, whoops. Where I can plink at that bombardier while also dodging its missiles. Oh, crap. That's a pop. Whoa. Anybody else? Somebody set off the alarm. Okay. I can hear the bombardier, but I don't see it. But I can take out its spotters. No, I can't. So these spotters, if they see you... By the way, bullets have travel time in this game. If they see you and hit you with that yellow laser, the bombardier will fire missiles at you. Okay, well, at least we know what direction it's coming from. Let's heal up our shield. Oh, hi! What the heck are you doing here? Oh, I can't hit him. I thought I was going to hit him with a hammer. Yes, I can! Alright, well, that was fun. Okay, so the bombardier was to the left. We've killed both of its spotters, but it will replenish them soon. There it is. I see it now. Oh, he's shooting at somebody else. But now it's going to shoot at me. Is it? Is it going to shoot at me? Does it know where I'm here? So it's got these little yellow weak points. It's hiding in that forest. It's got the yellow weak points. But most of them aren't that important. Oh, I just hit the edge of the wood. Oh, no. Oh, it fires twice. Okay. I have not fought these things. Oh, hello. I have not fought these things before. So I don't really know what to expect from them. Oh, the other spotters got me. Yeah, it's going to keep bringing those spotters back. Okay, so the question is... This guy's got a cousin called the Bastion. And the Bastion gets closer to you when it fights you. And so you can sometimes tempt it over and hit it with closer range munitions. But this one looks like it keeps its distance. I'm wondering, can I throw something at it from back here? Yeah, that did hit it. Oh, what the heck? Okay, it's brought in new spotters. I think they're actively looking for me. Yep, hi. Getting better at getting inside this building. Oh, looks like a friend's helping me. Thanks for hitting the spotter, whoever that was. Man, it's hard to see this thing. There it is. Awesome. All right. So I've got another weaker explosive. That's shooting me. It has not acquired an alternate target yet. See, the nice thing about playing this game in servers full of cooperative people... It's got a weak point in the back, by the way, that I'm trying to hit. Is that they will often just collaborate with you kind of unprompted. It's like you get started with a fight. Oh crap! And other people will just join in and participate. Every time I've defeated a bastion, it's been because other people have come out and helped me. Okay, I'm going through a lot of shit. Okay. Oh, it is serious about me now. Okay, hold on. Maybe I can blink at it from a completely... Oh, no, we've got guys. Yeah, these guys are not made for indoors. Someone else is definitely helping me, which I appreciate. Calm back down. Oh, that's one way to come back down. All right. So, with everything out of the air, I think it might be time for me to use the big guns. Okay, so we just hit it with a big cluster munition. Did a bunch of damage to it. I can't tell how much damage, though. Whoop, that's not the hallway. I mean, I'm assuming it's still around. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, I think we got it. I'm assuming my collaborators are gonna, come out and join me. Somebody else was helping me, but maybe they weren't that serious about it. Yes. So I like to pretend that all that plinking I was doing made a big difference, but it was probably mostly the wolf pack. But yeah, there's been a lot of talk about why Arc Raiders is such a friendly game to people like me, people who, you know, I'm not going to devote myself to becoming like the baddest PvP player in the world, you know, and I'm going to be pretty easily frustrated by a game where all my progress just gets lost all the time because of, you know, predatory other players. Whoa, oh, something's getting close to me. This is the kind of game that you would think I would have a lot of trouble getting into. But the reason it works is other players are so friendly in this game. And when you compare that to a lot of other games that have PvP capabilities, you realize, you know, how rare that is, how strange it is for a game where you can kill each other, not to just be a toxic grief fest all the time. And I think there's a few factors involved in this. One is the fact that these enemies are just so overwhelmingly dangerous. It is extremely difficult to fight these guys on your own. And so everyone, I think, is vaguely aware that they need each other in this world. That, you know, like, yeah, going it alone, preying on other people, that's got its attraction. And there are definitely players who play that way. But I think the fact that we've basically got such an overwhelming common enemy makes people sort of, like, even, you know, even players who normally would be amused by the idea of playing competitively and trying to take other players down and, you know, camp the exit, which we still might see someone do. Even players like that... Oh, shut up. Some sensor found me. Even players like that can see the appeal of just suddenly playing like, a pickup game of destroy the Bombardier with a friend, or with a stranger. And so it's like, so I think we feel, this world is just so dangerous. And even the little guys, like I was, having fun shooting little wasps and things. Even the little guys are pretty dangerous and can kill you under the wrong circumstances, even when you're experienced. So like you always feel like you're in danger, and so it's actually a relief to run into another person who might actually be on your side. Hey there, I'm a friendly, if anybody's around. Just calling in the train. Hey, somebody mined the bottom of the stairs. That's a little hinky. Maybe that person's gone. You're friendly? Okay, careful, there's a mine at the bottom of the stairs, and I don't know who put it there.
Can you shoot it for me?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
So you are friendly?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Second. There's a body up there too.
Okay, well maybe we missed the party. Maybe whatever was going on here is done.
All right, thanks, bro.
There might be a pop outside. Be careful. All right. Awesome. So yeah, those were friendly people, and like, if I'd been playing Cycle Frontier or Vigor or something, we would have been murdering each other. That would have been the only possible thing that we could do in those circumstances. But in this game, we're happy to see each other. It was great. But part of it is the fact that this game actually is it's divided up. It's funny, it's informally divided up into two games. When you're playing trios, if you're playing with a team, the assumption is most people are hostile, and that there's it's okay to just shoot on sight. But when you're playing solos, the assumption is everybody needs help, everybody needs backup, and there's kind of a social pressure towards being collaborative. And so when somebody kills you, it's not like, ah, man, I got killed like you always do in this game. You're like, hey, you jerk. Why did you do that? We're all on the same side against the robots. But it's interesting because, like, I think that, the developers have created a bunch of incentives that sort of make it so that PvP is always possible. It's always a thing that can happen. But it's not a thing that must happen. And in fact, all the other incentives of the world are pushing you towards collaboration. Like, part of the reason I was able to defeat that Bombardier, part of it was I had a wolf pack, but part of it was the fact that other people kept plinking at it. They saw that somebody was fighting a Bombardier, and they kept distracting the Bombardier so that I could get in shots at its back and stuff like that. And that's just really cool. People just sort of ambiently help each other out, because I think, honestly, if we were really in a situation like this, where like humans have been driven underground by a robot army and going to the surface was necessary, but the robots were also, going to murder you, like, I think we actually would collaborate. I think that that's actually the way it would really go. And so they created the incentives of this world to drive us to, a sort of a cooperative, kind of pro-social approach that I think is actually what human beings are doing under these real circumstances. I think that is kind of our superpower, the fact that, despite the fact that we each have our own interests, and it's possible for a society of humans to sustain a certain number of non-collaborative, exploitative people, on the whole, we actually just kind of want each other to be fine, and we want to help out, and we want to, work together and build stuff together. And that's what made us the successful species that we are. And that would be, honestly, that would be our solution in cases like this. This would be our response to a robot army, is we would band together and help each other. And so I love that these developers have come up with sort of a scenario that, rather than driving humans to be their worst, which is what people often tell stories about when they're doing post-apocalyptic stuff, they tell stories about people being driven by extremity to become their worst selves. These folks have created a game where it really is a super dangerous world, where you really do feel like you're being pushed to extremity, where, you know, all of the stuff that I've got on this character is at risk, and these robots, even the weakest one, can take me by surprise and kill me. I'm in that world, and so humans want to collaborate with each other. And I think it's kind of telling that the scenario where people do actually shoot on sight is a scenario where you're already in a team of your friends. So if you've got, you know, 2 other people playing with you, and you've already got kind of an in-group and all the other humans are the out-group, you can sort of assign those other humans in your mind to be others, just the way that the robots are others. But when you're on your own in a world like this, I think that most of us crave community. Most of us crave the opportunity to have a positive interaction with another human where we're helping them, and they owe us one because we saved them from a robot, or, you know, like we gave them a gift and they were grateful for it, or they gave us a gift and we feel grateful for it, and they feel like, you know, they did something good that day. Like, that kind of stuff just happens all the time. There are people who you run into where, you know, they're rich enough that if they found something good, they'll just throw it on the ground at their feet and be like, hey, have this. Like, and I've never seen that in a lot of the other games in this genre that I've played. So this is why I love this game. And so I've got, you know, I record a lot of my sessions and I try to capture some of my favorite moments, but some of them, they don't really make good, like, YouTube videos or YouTube shorts because they're kind of drawn out. But, like, one of the best experiences I had recently was at the beginning of my match. I needed to go kill a leaper, which I'd only killed one before, and I was really intimidated by it. But some very experienced player just, like, bumped into me at the beginning, was like, hey dude, what you doing? And I was like, I'm looking to hunt a leaper. And he's like, oh, hey, I've got some stuff to be good with that. Let me help you. And they helped me kill 2 leapers and gave me all of the loot. And then we had spent so much time on it, we had to run to make it to the extraction. And at the extraction, he got downed by like a rocketeer, which is one of the scariest enemies in the game. But he was still, you know, crawling around, and so we were able to get the elevator open, and he was able to, you know, and I was able to push the button to rescue him, and the whole thing was just an amazing experience. But it was also really drawn out, and it like took 20 minutes, and so I'm not making a video out of that, but I'm just telling you, you can have some great experiences in this game with other people, and I'm just really loving it so far. So there you go. Anyway, that's just me ranting about this game. Look at all this loot I came home with. It's crazy, and almost all of this came out of one monster. That is actually, you know what, I gotta say, that is another reason, I think one of the hidden reasons that people don't talk about that much for why people don't feel like they need to attack each other when you're playing solos. When you're playing solos, you've got the one backpack, and defeating one major enemy fills that backpack. And just a little bit of, like, casual exploration will fill your backpack pretty quickly. And everything in the game is useful. You never stop needing the lowest level resources. You need to use that refiner, the thing we're about to go upgrade. You need to use the refiner to refine them into better resources, but they never stop being useful. And so you very quickly drop into a match, and then your backpack's full, and so you're not, like, sitting there starving, being like, you know, I don't have any good stuff, I need to murder another player to take their good stuff. Like, you've got good stuff already. Like, so it's like, it's a bounteous world and it's a dangerous world, and the combination of you typically having enough, and it being kind of an inconvenience, actually. If you killed somebody and had to take all their stuff, you don't have room for it, and it would be kind of disappointing to try to weed through it all and leave so much of it behind. So, like, you know, so that combination of bounty and danger, I think, is what sort of creates this, and also having sort of the pressure release valve of the team-based mode, where you do a lot of PvP. I think it creates, like, this perfect set of conditions for solo cooperation. And the funny part about this is, I don't think that the developers, like, thought this was going to happen. Like, I think that they did put a lot of these incentives in place. I think they wanted there to be incentives to collaborate. I don't think that they foresaw the game being as friendly as it is. I think that that's something that they probably discovered through playtests and then leaned into and wanted to have as a part of their game. Because I think that their game is going to be more successful because it develops a reputation for being the friendly place where you can have a good time as a solo player and as a player, who again doesn't just sweatily devote their entire life to being good at this one game. If you're someone like me who has to play a lot of different games, this is the game I want to play because I'm not just constantly on the edge of failure, on the edge of death, on the edge of being betrayed by a person and frustrated and angry for the rest of the night. I'm usually just having a great time fighting robots with a bunch of new friends every match. So I'm betting, I do think that they leaned into this on purpose, but I'm betting they discovered it by accident. And this is one of these sort of beautiful bits of alchemy that you sometimes find in when you're in game development is, you'll build something and you don't know how it's going to turn out. Every game has got its own different set of just weird distinctions in its incentives and its mechanics, and you don't quite know how an audience is going to play with that. And I love that they sort of probably, I don't know, maybe they had some master plan and they're brilliant geniuses, but I'm betting that they stumbled into a game where people were suddenly more friendly than they should be in a game like this, and then they leaned into it. But it's now they've discovered a formula, and now it's I think that other people could try to learn from this and try to create scenarios that are very similar, and we might be able to discover sort of a way to construct video games that makes people less toxic. And that just feels I don't know, like a little bit of a miracle to me. So that's another reason why I'm just kind of obsessed with this game. So I got 10 cred. I got 10 of this blue currency for destroying wasps. Got nothing to spend it on until they give us a new raider deck. Let's go through some of the things that I can do as a result of the progress that I earned on that match. So the first thing, I earned experience points for everything I was doing. Mostly it's for damaging and killing enemies and for scavenging are the main things that you get experience for. So I've got a new skill point that I can spend somewhere on this tree. I've been trying to go up this branch as hard as I can because there are some boxes I can't open yet, and this will let me open those boxes. I need to spend 8 more skill points on this stretch in order to unlock this. So I can make less noise while I'm looting. I could recharge my stamina faster. Being over-encumbered could hurt me less. I used to over-encumber myself more when I had smaller, backpack augments. Now, I've got better ones that I'm not over-encumbered as often. Recovering from stamina more quickly. And when looting raider containers, you can find extra field-crafted items. You know what? Anything that gives me more loot makes me happy, so I'm going to grab that one. And so I'm not only grabbing that skill, but I'm also earning progress towards this saying 35, or 36, which means I can get this one. So, cool. So there's my skill tree. But what else do we have? So we had our, we got that blue currency for completing that feat, killing 3 wasps or something, which means if I had not already bought every single thing on this list, I could buy one of these things. It includes emotes, cosmetics, which includes anything from hats to outfits to backpacks. Plus, you can also get hard currency here. You can get little supply drops full of stuff. I haven't even used this thing yet. So you got that stuff, and then let me move over here so you can see this. I love this little mechanic here. So I completed 1 feat today. If I complete 3, I get a bonus. If I complete 5, I get a bigger bonus, but then there's no big bonuses after that, which means they're sort of meeting out a certain amount of play that they think is perfect for each day. So okay, play until you've got 5 feats, and then we're going to stop giving you extra prizes. So come back tomorrow instead of just devoting your entire life to this and feeling like you're drowning in it. Just, make it a habit. Make it a tradition. Don't necessarily make it an obsession, which, I think is friendly. What else have we got here? So of course, we've got the main thing that I was targeting, which is leveling up your workshop. This is my final level up in my workshop. I collected 3 motors, which are really hard to find. I collected a bunch of arc circuitry, which is actually pretty common these days for me, but I have to spend 10 of it. And we just got 6 bombardier cells. So let's level that up. And now we can make magnetic accelerators, which are used in making some of the fanciest weapons in the game, if I can get blueprints for them, and then a power rod, which is good for making the heavy shield and the snap hook. Heavy shield got kind of a bad reputation, doesn't do that much more than a medium shield, but the snap hook, that's like a little handheld grappling gun, which is supposed to be really fun, but it's also a consumable, I'm pretty sure, and easy to lose, and so I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do that. I'm such a hoarder. I have to have so much stuff before I'm willing to spend any of it. My stash is almost completely full, and I'm constantly having to like throw things away because I've collected too much. So like heavy gun parts. This is used in making and repairing one of my favorite guns. So I'm gonna hold on to that. Launcher ammo I've never had before, so that's fun. So arc flex rubber, the only point of this is to either sell it or recycle it into cheap rubber bits. Let me see how many cheap rubber bits I've got. I have too many cheap rubber bits, so we're gonna sell these. You can see I've got like 1 million coins. I've got too many coins. Those are used to make shield recharges like these ones. These I usually just sell. I think they can be used to make something that I don't make very often, so I just sell them for now. I've got so much arc alloy, we're just going to sell the arc alloy too. These mechanical components are useful for repairing weapons, and I'm going to bring these into the next match. These guys, I usually recycle these into metal bits, and these guys can be recycled into fabric, and I'm going to sell the alloy. Oh, and I'll sell this guy. Oh, one thing I really like. So this is a snitch scanner. So one of the little spinny guys that I was shooting, the ones that have the big like the blue spotlights that turn into red spotlights when they notice you. Those guys, if you don't kill them quickly enough, if they see you and you don't do anything about it, or if you don't kill them fast enough once you started killing them, they will call in 3 of the drones, one of which is a really dangerous one, and so you want to take them down quickly. But you can pick this thing up. Most of the enemies drop something called a driver, which is like, it's the main component of the enemy, and some of them can be used as grenades. So this one, if you throw it at somebody, you'll summon a bunch of drones to land on them, which is fun. I'm not going to do that though, so I'm going to sell it. But there's one of them that's explosive if you shoot it. There's one of them that electrocutes enemies, and I think that's great. Okay, I think I've taken off everything I'm going to take off here. You can, like, my shield took some damage. I could repair it, but it would be a little bit wasteful at this stage. I think I might want to take it down a little bit more before I repair it any further. So yeah, so that's me, collecting inventory. And oh, by the way, this is Scrappy. This is my chicken. Everyone gets a free chicken with this game. I mean, did you need another reason to try this game? You get a free chicken. This is my chicken. I've painted him yellow, and I'm going to claim... So basically what he does is he pokes around the garbage while you're away, and he brings you stuff. And you get to collect that stuff every day. So they've actually got a few different ways that they incentivize you to keep playing even when you face hardship. Because it is possible to, bring a fancy loadout into the game, 14 times in a row and lose your loadout every single time and really strain your resources. But what they do, they have like 2 different ways that they make sure you always have stuff. One is Scrappy, because he gives you those basic low-level resources, which are what you need to, for instance, craft ammo. And basic shields and things like that, or repair your shields. It only takes that sort of low-level stuff, and so you can usually get enough of that just from Scrappy that you've got enough that you can go out into the world and handle some things. And even if not, even if for whatever reason that's not enough, you can always, when you're playing, here, let me just confirm again, you can choose a free loadout. If you go in with a free loadout, all the other stuff that you had in your inventory just goes back into your stash, and all you get is this augment. But this augment, when you land, it spawns a whole bunch of equipment for you. It's all cheap crap, low-level, underdeveloped equipment, But honestly, like, the difference between the good stuff and the bad stuff isn't that huge. This isn't like an MMO or something where like the damage curve is so enormous that that like, you know, you're just like, you know, you're a fly buzzing around an enemy if you're using low level gear. That Pharaoh that I was firing, that bolt action rifle that I was using, that is one of the low level weapons in the game, and it's also one of the best weapons in the game. I mean, it's got that slow rate of fire, but if you like upgrade that thing, the fire rate gets faster and faster, and it always does this incredible amount of damage. And so that's one of the guns you could just show up with when you arrive. It'll fire slower than the one you saw me firing, but it'll still be just as, you know, useful against a typical low-level enemy. And then you've got a free one. When you come back home, you get to keep all that equipment. You don't get a safe pocket. And so that is a motivation to try to bring in, you know, your actual custom loadout, because you get a safe pocket. But still, so like, the thing I've been, even though I'm such a hoarder and I'm terrified to use anything because I'm afraid of losing it, the fact that there's a free loadout available actually kind of encourages me to use my real equipment, because I'm like, you know what, no matter what, even if I lose all of this stuff, I've got a free loadout I can resort to. It's going to be okay. And I, like, you know, talk myself into going out there with good stuff, having a better time because I brought better equipment, because I know that I can resort to a free loadout anytime I need to. I'm not going to lose my last thing. And it's funny because, like, I refuse to use my 12th thing because I'm afraid of losing my last thing. You'd think I could use the 12th down through the first before I would get too afraid of losing my last thing. But no, I have to have so many things before I'm willing to risk any of them. Anyway, what am I missing? Oh yeah, so I mean, there's a few other, like, progression mechanics. Seriously, I can't even count the progression mechanics in this game, because we've also got projects. This is like the prestige system. You devote a whole bunch of resources into this ongoing 6-step project. If you complete it, you can reset all of your progress, but earn more extra skill points and stash slots, I believe. And so you can, you know, basically start the whole game over from scratch, but with just a little bit more of the stuff that you like. And so you can do that again and again, but it costs a lot of resources to do it. You have to be serious about it. And then there's also trials. Trials are, you know, within one round, how much of this can you do? For instance, harvest plants. So there's a spot in Buried City, which is like, it's like an old hotel, and it's full of decorative plants that are also healing plants. And it is just chock full of them. And so one time I went on a night raid to Buried City, which means there was more loot. And I went and I just harvested every single plant in that building, and I got 3 stars in this. I'm probably never going to top it. But I shot down one of these Rocketeers. I got 1 star. I could probably go out there and just devote a round to shooting every flying thing that I see and do a little better at this. But each of these are like how much I was able to accomplish in a single round. And so you're trying to, like, basically beat your personal best while you're in the field. And if you do, you get prizes. And all of these add up to, like, a final, like, ranking prize, which also unlocks stuff. And so there's that. So we've got, like, the Raider decks, we've got, you know, like the skill tree, we've got the trials, we've got the projects, we've got the quests you can go on, we've got, like, the feats that feed into the Raider decks. Like, there's just so many, like, you cannot run out of stuff to do in this game. The only problem is, can you learn all the different things that you're supposed to know how to do? Oh, and I didn't even, yeah, and of course, I mentioned at the beginning, there's a live event going on where basically you just go out and you know, try to earn experience in the field. You start by devoting resources to it. Then you go out and earn experience in the field doing various things, and then you unlock a bunch of stuff that way. It's just, there's so much. And honestly, like, as a developer myself, I get intimidated by just the sheer number of different parallel progression mechanics a lot of games like this have, because it is it's a serious risk to overwhelm a player and have them show up and be like, what is all this? You know, and just be really intimidated by it. They very intelligently meted these out to me one at a time. So, like, I didn't have all of these things. I didn't have the trials at first. You know, I didn't have everything on the table. They, like, showed me each of them one at a time so that I could get familiar with each one, rather than just dumping me in the middle of like some complicated battle pass nonsense that I just don't even understand. There's still other games that have been out for ages that everyone's used to that I just don't understand yet. This one I actually kind of got, and it made me a little bit less afraid of having, because parallel progression mechanics are great, because somebody exhausts something or gets tired of something, there's always something else that they can do. And one of the biggest problems you contend with players in a game like this that, you know, involves a lot of repetition. You're going to the same places and doing the same activities again and again and again. And like a lot of the details of what happens, you know, where were the enemies this time, is different, and it does actually keep it really fresh. But it's very easy to sort of run out of motivations for players, reasons for them to come back. So I think that's why they have so many different parallel progression mechanics, is to just make sure that no matter what, if I come back on a given day, there's something that's worthwhile for me to do that maybe is different from what I did yesterday. And you need something like that to keep a game like this going. It's one of the reasons why, you know, most of my, you know, playing of my own game this many years after release is fueled by our bounty system, which is, you know, honestly, like playing this, I'm like, we did not make that bounty system dense enough. But that is motivational for me, even though I have played State of Decay 2 more than most people in the universe. I still want to keep coming back because bounties are just fun to chase, and they've got that going on here. Anyway, this was just one session and then a lot of me talking, so I hope that this was, I don't know, I hope you found this useful. If you've been on the fence wondering whether you want to try out Arc Raiders, and if you're like me, somebody who gets intimidated by a game with PvP and a high potential for loss, you know, those you know, feelings are real. But in this game, they don't just dominate the experience. Like, I've been able to get into this game, and despite the fact that sometimes I do get shot in the back by a player, and sometimes I do get into a frustrating situation with robots and get killed and lose some valuable stuff that I cared about, I have kept going. Like, this game has always, there's something about it from, you know, and one thing I didn't even give enough credit to is the moment-to-moment gameplay. How fun it is to fight those little drones. I mean, you saw when I was fighting them, I wasn't just like plinking at them until their health bar ran down. I was shooting their rotors off. And all of the enemies are like that. Every enemy in this game takes progressive damage over time to different spots on their body, and they make a meaningful difference to the way the enemy moves, to their capabilities. And so you don't feel like I'm just plinking at an enemy until they die because a number went down. You feel like you're really on a tactile level interacting with the world. So like, that keeps pulling me in. All the sort of friendly social experience and the friendly progression mechanics and and all of the things that sort of back me up when I'm failing. This is the one that I've been able to get super into. And so yeah, so if this is the kind of thing that you think you would need in order to get into this genre, go check out Arc Raiders. Watch more videos. There are lots of great Arc Raiders videos out there, by the way. Like, don't take it from me. Just look up Arc Raiders on YouTube. There are so many weird people playing this game, coming up with entertaining ways to basically, you know, do improv and put on a show for other people in the game. It's a lot of fun. There's so many great things going on in here. But I think this episode needs to be over because I've been talking way too long, and actually I think my voice is starting to feel it. So here's my subscribe button. If I make another video about Arc Raiders, I'm going to stick that video there. But yeah, I guess I'll see you later.